best example that I can mention to you of cooperation post-war is in the Bodensee between Switzerland, Austria, Germany, and even tiny Liechtenstein. It is cooperation based on the people of 300 towns. سكان 300 مدينة. Since 1954, if you look at the gestation period and you say, can you go back to war, can you not go back to war, who knows? But for 300 towns, the people are the guarantors, the stakeholders of the purity of the water, of the safe transmission of the water. And when Turgut Özal put his big hand on the map of Near East, and he said to me, we are not against regional cooperation. By the way, Adnan Abu and Jawad Anani, you mentioned, traveled with me, so they are not, I mean, they were in my company, but of course, nobody likes to mention me for whatever reason. But I'm not a political figure. But I just want to say that in policy, he said, look, for this region, I would like to know how much M&I, municipal and industrial water, how much agricultural water, how much the drinking water, pure water. What is infrastructure cost? There, that's all. So you have Iran, and notice Iran in water terms just joined the 6 or 7 party regional agreement on the management of the water of the Caspian Sea. I don't know, is Turkey part of it? No. The bordering countries of the Caspian. For the first time in modern history, you have 6 countries guaranteeing the use of the water of the Caspian Sea. Iran is today a blocking point because Iran is increasingly sanctioned and isolated, as we are told. Between what and what? Between us and Asia. Us is who? Eurasia, the Black Sea to the Baltics. Eurasia is also China, Shanghai to Southampton. This passage is hugely important for us to understand. If I say China to politicians in Jordan, they say China is not important. It just shows how ignorant they are. But when China is talking about tens of billions of dollars, $65 billion, to develop the One Belt, One Road, it is doing that in the context of the terrestrial Silk Route, and the maritime Silk Route, Darb al-Harir al-Bahri, which now goes to outside here, to somewhere, to Gwadar on the coast of Pakistan, Iran. So the goods come directly to the Arabian Sea. And the Arabian Sea is bordered by whom? By India and Pakistan. Of course, we call it the Arabian Gulf to humor our Arabian friends, but in reality, when we went to school, we called it the Persian Gulf. But we're going to spend the rest of our lives, I suppose, the Persian side of the Arabian Gulf, the Arabian side of the Persian Gulf, and it's childish. What is the problem is that we don't see the trade is going to go right up to Port Sudan, ignoring Hormuz and ignoring Mandeb, and continuing to Europe.
Has been harvesting the twinning of water and energy since his attempts to settle and pursue his quest to build human civilization. We say human civilization and we mean it. Without liquid fresh water and its twin energy, there could not have been life on our planet let alone the building of civilization. The natural source of fresh water is precipitation that originates in water bodies like oceans, seas, and lakes. Solar energy causes water from the surfaces of these bodies to evaporate, and the energy of convection enables water vapor to assume higher elevations and to form clouds at lower temperatures. A good portion of these clouds precipitates back to the water bodies where they came from. And another portion of these clouds gets driven by wind energy to assume locations above the landmass. Again, through drop in temperature, liquid water is formed, and through gravity energy. Without that energy of gravity, the water drops would hang up in the atmosphere. But energy brings it down. It falls on the land mass as rain or snow or both. Again, gravity energy drives the precipitation to rivers and wadis and makes it flow back to the water bodies, or drives the water into groundwater reservoirs only to re-emerge as springs flowing into wadis and rivers back to the water bodies where they originated. That is thus the water cycle we call it, which is wrong. It's the water and the energy cycle. Because as you see, without energy, this cycle is not possible. We should remember that all these various uses of water and energy generate jobs and add to wealth that improves the living standards of societies. This is important. We don't have to think only of that liquid and only of that energy technically and how it's generated or how it is used. We have to remember that the livelihood of societies depends on them. The standard of living of societies also depends on them. The human migration can be felt internationally if the movement of people over the globe is not regulated. Borders and immigration and visas within a given country like ours. We witnessed the migration from drier areas to the capital and to the cities. But we also witnessed that when we fully developed the Jordan Valley, that migration was reversed. When we used water and energy and man was there, the rural-urban migration that we have witnessed from the Jordan Valley got reversed. We started with the Jordan Valley that had in it 63,000 people, 312, in 1973. Today, it's over 500,000.
In regional planning also, we did a good job by creating growth centers, because if I tell you a little bit about how we did the regional plans, we did the Central Area Regional Plan with the Americans, with the University of Cornell and the University of London. And this was a plan based on the concept of basic needs for the region. And planning was one of the basic needs. We discovered that it is needed for this country. In the northern part of Jordan, they did it with the Japanese and with another concept, which is the growth pole. That if we create some growth poles, these growth poles will induce development. In the southern region, where I became a director or co-director before the beginning, and I was only 2 years old. Yeah, not 2 years old, literally. but 2 years after I graduated from university. And this was a plan which was done according to the German tradition of what we call spatial planning, which is comprehensive in a sense. Now, the Wadi system in Jordan, these are the watersheds, the green ones, and these are the wadis. You see this part here, all the rain which comes into this part runs into Saudi Arabia, where it runs into the valleys there. And this part which is here is coming from Syria. And you know, the water in Azraq is actually a result of the rain falling in Jabal al-Duz in Syria. So it comes with the soil down to Azraq, where it is kept in this low area. So we have a system, we have an ecological system in Jordan, which we have to understand very well, and we have to act relatively. Now, that is management, which is one of the important sources of water. Urban planning. When I started working in urban planning, I started with regional planning actually, and water and agriculture production and the environment were some of our concerns. Protecting the environment was one of our objectives. But I started telling my colleagues that you are using the agricultural land for housing, for buildings, which is wrong. They say, come on, why do you say it is wrong? Do you like to go to the east and build a villa there? You will be killed from heat.
Solar. But solar is now progressing right now very. Well, it is not very much sustainable way. I mean, look at who are using desalination. I mean, Arabic countries, I mean, Gulf countries. Petroleum.
They are moving towards solar.
Yeah. Okay, let's look at another water transfer project. Just only to give some idea about you, what happened at that time. Peace water pipeline. The ultimate aim was to convey the water 32 years ago to the countries located, placed in Middle East. No, it was not the aim. It was not the ultimate aim. The ultimate aim was create a process of confidence building. Between whom? Between the countries which the route is going through.
Is Israel part of it?
Is
Israel?
Israel? No, it is not. Therefore, it was some problems. We have seen some problems.
But the Israelis have a similar plan. They are asking Turkey.
Yeah, they are asking. Israel came to us when I was a director in DSI once upon a time. No, of course, it was not 1,000 years ago, just only.
Every issue in our way. According to models of climate change, we are going through the model for RCP 4.5 and RCP 8.5.